Jealousy, betrayal, rage, insecurity, but worst of all, the fall from grace.
Yikes.
Today we're talking about Giuseppe Verdi's Otello.
But before we dive into the actual story of Otello, let's get some background on Verdi.
Now, Verdi's life can almost be considered an opera in itself. From tragedy to triumph, he had all the vital components for a lit opera.
Verdi wasn't born into a musical family.
Or a family with money, which are two very important aspects to have access to classical music, even in 1813.
His father, however, realized an early talent and sent him off to the neighboring town of Busseto to further his education.
But where he really began to take off is when he moved to Milan, even though he was denied acceptance into the Royal Imperial Conservatory of Music.
Mainly because he was too old, but also because he was a terrible pianist.
But this did provide him access into the world of opera.
Verdi's first opera, Oberto, brought him great success, which was uncommon for a composer's first opera. Oberto premiered at La Scala in 1839.
Tragedy struck Verdi's life when he experienced a bunch of losses back to back. The death of his daughter in 1838, the death of his newborn son in 1839, and the death of his first wife, Margherita, in 1840. Distraught, Verdi did not compose for 2 years.
However, Verdi went on to write many great operas, including La Traviata, which is considered to be one of the greatest opera tragedies ever written.
Verdi wrote 28 operas, and in short, is one of the most influential composers of the 19th century. His opera, Otello, is considered to be one of the finest works of Italian romantic opera.
Now let's get into it. Otello is a story about a man who didn't know who he could trust, and ended up finding that out the hard way.
The opera opens up with a celebration for Otello, the governor of Cyprus, who's been away at war. Everybody's excited to see Otello. Well, everybody except Iago. Iago is out to get Otello after he promoted Cassio above him. To help carry out his plan, he uses the help of Rodrigo, a newcomer to Cyprus who fell in love with Desdemona while Otello was out at war. To carry out his plan, Rodrigo gets Cassio drunk. This is one of my favorite parts of the opera, even though it just started. It's a drinking song. Drinking songs are common in 19th century operas. And Afaya Lugola is one of my favorite songs in the opera, as it showcases Iago as a true antagonist. He shares a lot of the weight with Otello in this opera. What's ironic is that we're supposed to be celebrating Otello because he just came back from war. But we're kind of celebrating the downfall of Cassio. What's even more weird is the fact that everybody trusts Iago. The whole chorus is encouraging Cassio to drink more and more. Iago is a true finesser. It's almost foreshadowing because everybody believes him throughout the entire opera. The act ends with Cassio becoming belligerently drunk and getting demoted by Otello.
After Desdemona comes to Cassio's defense, Iago uses this to convince Otello that his wife is being unfaithful. He fabricates a whole romance between Cassio and Desdemona, even convincing Otello that he saw Cassio with Desdemona's handkerchief. When Otello falls for this trick, they both vow to punish the adulterous couple.
Now, Act 3 opens up with Otello panicking about his alleged failing marriage. He gets into an argument with Desdemona because one, Desdemona asks him to pardon Cassio yet again, and two, she cannot produce the handkerchief that Otello gave to her as a gift. He ends up calling her a whore. To add insult to injury, Otello overhears a staged conversation between Iago and Cassio, which makes Desdemona look like she's really cheating on Otello. The act ends with Otello embarrassing Desdemona in front of everybody and calling her a whore yet again.
In the final act, Otello approaches a sleeping Desdemona with the intent to kill. If you listen closely here, you'll hear the quiet rumbling of the double bass's open E string. As Otello gently kisses her awake, the bass solo becomes soft and lyrical. In the midst of Otello revealing his plan to kill her and Desdemona pleading for her life, the solo speeds up and suddenly comes to an abrupt end as he strangles her. Shortly after, he's informed that Cassio has killed Rodrigo. Only then is Iago's full plan revealed, and Otello realizes what he's done. With this, Otello stabs himself with a dagger and dies.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm rooting for Iago. He's a true villain, and he actually gets away with his plan.
I'm rooting for my girl Desdemona. She was innocent in all of this. Needless to say, there's more to the story than we have time to tell you.
But we hope you enjoy the show, and you can decide for yourself.